Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space News, where we talk about the Baltimore Ravens right now, 3 days a week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Also, please like, share, and comment on these videos. It helps us grow, especially sharing these videos to your friends on Facebook and Twitter. We have 3 great topics for you guys today. We're going to hop into the topics. First, we're going to talk about Dean Pease's questionable unretirement. We're going to talk about Rex Ryan and how he responded to Hall of Famer Kevin Milau's opinion. We're going to talk about CJ Mosley and how he can improve. And then we have the mailbag question and the comment of the day, my favorite parts of the show. So let's get right into it. And the first topic talks about Dean Pease decided to come back to the NFL to become the Titans' defensive coordinator. Now, a lot of people feel funny about this, me included. Real funny. I mean, I don't even know what to think, to be honest. There's 2 possibilities of what happened here. The first is Dean Pease told the Ravens he wanted to retire because he really wanted to retire. Found out that his homeboy, Mike Vrabel, is coaching. And he really does see Mike Vrabel as a son, a peer. Not a peer, I'm sorry, a son. He was a mentee. He was his mentor. And so there's a connection there. And that prompted him out. The other thing is, which I think is more realistic, is that they were going to fire Dean Pease. They didn't like the way that the defense has the tendency to melt down toward the end of games. They were going to let him go, and Dean Pease said, "I'm gonna retire before you fire me." So he stated he missed the game more and more, and it's weird. I think it's a mix of both. I think he thought that he was going to get fired, decided to retire, and was going to stay retired. But then Mike Vrabel came up, and that was an opportunity he couldn't resist. I think that what's going to happen is that we're going to find this out. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he schemed this to happen. You know, I just don't think so. I really do believe that he retired and then had another opportunity come up. It sucks. I thought Dean Pease was a great coordinator. I think it speaks to the NFL as a whole and the Baltimore Ravens is that people get fired not for what you do Sunday in and Sunday out, but for what you do when the world is watching. Dean Pease's defense was great week to week to week to week, and it had 3 terrible drives where they couldn't stop the Steelers twice and the Bengals once. And that was that was bad. The offense, however, was the opposite. They had 3 good games the entire season, and Marty Morningwig still has a job. They didn't force him out, and I really do think they forced out Dean Pease. So, I'm a little upset about it, but I really do think that it wasn't his fault. He was forced out. I really do believe that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll move on to the second topic of the day. And it's about Rex Ryan, and he gives his opinion on Kevin Milau's statement about Urlacher versus Lewis. And it was, ladies and gentlemen, it was rough. It was rough. And I'm going to read you guys the exact quote, and I'm going to read it. He basically lights up Milau the way football players light each other up. And I would say, here it is right here. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. That was one of the most ridiculous statements I've ever seen. He probably got his butt kicked so bad by Ray that he's forgetting that. And then he says, go back to when we played the Steelers twice a year and watch those matchups. Then watch Jerome Bettis run over Brian Urlacher. You'll see what the difference is between those 2 cats. Woof. The fire is real. The fire is real. I really like Rex Ryan doing this. One, it fits perfectly with his personality, right? If you saw someone like Andy Reid say something like this, it might be a little weird, right? You know, Andy, I know you're trying to defend your, but this is who Rex Ryan is. And he gets in your face, and that's why we love him in Baltimore, really. And he's right. He's right. Ray Lewis gave hits, okay? There's a lot of games where Urlacher, especially later in his career, was strictly a cover 2 linebacker, and his best ability was dropping back in zone. Ray, as he got older, actually was a liability in the zone and got better in run defense because he was older and could put on more weight. So I think Rex Ryan's 100% correct in the way he handled it. I think you be yourself. You come in and you chop down whoever's talking about your guy, and if they have a problem with that, then it is what it is. But I like what Rex did here, and he's, like I said, he's right. And when you're right, you're right. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this. And now we're going to move on to the third topic of the day. CJ Mosley states that he wants to be a Raven for life, and he compared himself a little bit to Ray Lewis. And I'm like, is there a way that he can improve? So I'm sorry, guys, I'm still a little sick, but can CJ Mosley improve? And if so, what can he improve on? The answer is yes. Every quarterback can improve. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Every player can improve. But CJ Mosley specifically, I think, has 2 things I would like him to improve on. The first thing, so first let me say, he is a great cover linebacker. I think one of the best in the league, and he's a tackling machine, sideline to sideline cat. However, there's 2 things I would like him to improve on. The first is his ability to play behind the line of scrimmage. And when I say that, I need him sometimes. He's a little smaller, so when he goes in to try to, you know, stop defenders in the backfield, it's usually not him. And it's just because when an offensive lineman gets a hand on him, the guy's pretty much stuck. Especially this season. Last season he was able to get free. This season it seemed like he was getting stuck a lot, and most of his tackles were those sideline to sideline tackles where the running back might get 2 yards, but then CJ Mosley's there to hit him. Not the type that we remember seeing Ray Lewis, and he'll burst through the backfield and make a tackle. And then the second thing, and I think this might be the biggest part of his game that could take him to the next level, and all great players have this, and some people call it big playability, some people call it instincts. They're together. And there are times last season where CJ Mosley in a lot of games just could not be found. He may have been making tackles, but they weren't impactful tackles. And there are impactful plays. There are a lot of players in the league who make impactful plays. J.J. Watt, impactful plays, right? He swats the ball, right? He swats the ball. Something super simple, but he's so good at it that it literally throws off the rhythm from the quarterback, right? And now the quarterback has to adjust a little bit. That's an impactful play. You know, making a tackle 4 yards down the field is not an impactful play. Eric Weddle's a player that doesn't really get his hands on a lot of balls, but the ones that he does get his hands on are impactful. Jimmy Smith's a perfect example of this. Jimmy Smith, again, doesn't get thrown at a lot, but when he does and when he makes a play, it's impactful. The other team gets the ball. Ray Lewis, again, because he did compare himself, impactful plays. Just not just interceptions, right? There's times on 3rd and 1 that Ray Lewis comes in and makes the stop. 3rd and 1, I think CJ had a couple of shining moments like that, but not a lot. Those impactful plays makes a difference. Terrell Suggs, for example, isn't as good as CJ Mosley is right now. But Terrell Suggs makes more impactful plays than CJ Mosley does. Terrell Suggs makes more tackles in the backfield. Terrell Suggs, and it's outside linebacker, middle linebacker, so it's not really fair. But let's compare it to a guy like Luke Kuechly, who's a middle linebacker. And Luke Kuechly consistently makes impactful plays. May not get as many interceptions as CJ, but his ability to, swat the ball on third downs, his ability to, get tackles for loss on first down and set the offense back, it's consistent and is one of the reasons why he's looked at as one of the best defensive players in the league. So that's the thing. I call it instincts. Some people call it impactful plays. I think CJ Mosley, if his instincts improve, if he can, again, see the hole before it opens up, beat the running back there on first down, and now on a run play, it's 2nd and 12, you really do set your defense up for success. So that's how I think he can improve. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm lying or if I'm crazy, and let me know how you think he can improve in the comments below. Now we're going to go to my favorite segment, the mailbag question of the day. And super excited. Got a new Patreon member. Thank you so much. Your name will pop up at the end of the show next week. It's a weekly thing I updated, so thank you so much. Now we're going to go to the first question, and it comes from Nick Silvestri. And I usually don't pick questions this long, but he had some issue with my logic, so I want to go into it. Let me get a sip of water first because it's long. Okay. Nick says, been watching your channel for a while, and I really like to know why you think the Ravens should be drafting skill positions when they're a team who's known to develop low-profile players. So first I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll read the rest. I feel a great offensive line and defense trump flashy offense anyways. Given the defensive culture that we've grown accustomed to, I would almost feel awed watching a Ravens team center around a high-powered offense. So, there's a lot here. First, Nick, I don't think that we were on the same page. I did say that I think the Ravens should draft offensive linemen first, and then get a receiver in the second round. So that, kind of goes counter to what you said, but I do harp a lot on getting receivers and tight ends. It's not that I want us to be a pass-happy offense, but it's that I want us to be a winning team. And our team as a whole is not good enough to do what you would like us to do. So, for example, our defense is not good enough to shut teams out. Our defense doesn't have a dominant pass rusher. So teams that you see like the Broncos of last year or the Seahawks of the recent present, they have great defenses, like all-time great defenses. The Ravens don't have that. And because of that, their offense needs to step up. And the other way there's only two ways to win. Let me do it right. There's only two ways to win. You have a quarterback who's paid a lot of money, and he uplifts the team. Or you have a great team around a quarterback that really, sometimes the quarterback doesn't make a lot of money. And we can't get that, right? We cannot be the Eagles. The Eagles have Carson Wentz on a rookie contract, right? We can't be the Eagles because we can't afford to get great pass rushers in Baltimore. You can't pay Jimmy Smith, Eric Weddle, Tony Jefferson, Brandon Williams, and the pass rusher. It's just, you can't do that. Because, again, it doesn't matter how good your defense is, Tom Brady's still going to get 21 points. It doesn't matter how good your defense is, Ben Roethlisberger is still going to get 21 points. You even saw Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a much better overall team than the Ravens had this year. Their defense was much better, and their offense was much better as a whole. But, again, they beat the Steelers. They had to score 48 points, right? And they couldn't beat the Patriots because they couldn't score enough points. And it's just the hard reality of this game. Unless you have a world-changing defense, you need pieces around your quarterback, especially if your quarterback is Joe Flacco and he can't uplift the team. And so that's what I'm saying is that we know who Joe Flacco is, and for us to think that we can invest money into a great defense and think Joe Flacco can score 25, 30 points consistently, and in the playoffs when you face Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, you think you can do that you know, with just Joe Flacco, that would be a wrong statement. You have to go help him out with not only a good offensive line and a good running game, but when the game is on the line, your running back is useless. And let me say it like this. Like, when you're down 10 points with 5 minutes left, your running back is useless. Your running back does not help you. It hurts you. Running the ball hurts you because you have to save time. And any play that's not successful needs to be an incompletion. So you see what I'm saying? When you're down by 10 with 4 minutes left, you need to throw the ball effectively. And it doesn't matter how good your running back is, you can't do it. And I'm gonna stop there. Maybe in the mailbag segment, I'll add a little bit more context to a question similar to this. But basically, we know how to get to the Super Bowl. Teams have shown us either you have a world star all-time defense, or you have a great quarterback. And right now, the Ravens don't have either. And we need to get one of those on track. And the way to make Joe Flacco great is to help him out. So, thank you guys so much for putting up with me and my code. It's lingering code. It's still here. But thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube for the best Ravens content on the internet. If you want to help us out, join our Patreon. It is the best. We give you some great stuff. So please check it out. Thank you guys so much. And go Ravens.